you could have any power, supernatural, from any book that we've talked about on the pod,
Mm-hmm.
what would you have? I'm pulling a Feyre. Give me everything.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Irene's power. I want to be Starboard.
Yeah.
I was born in Star County.
Cute.
So T. Maybe I kind of
And she's
already
brown.
am. Wait,
You are Irene.
That was funny.
guys, I have curly hair.
Yeah.
And where's my kale?
All signs are
And where's
leading
my kale?
towards.
Right. Okay, so I am actually already Starborn, so let's slay. What about you guys?
I'm like stuck in Tog worlds in my brain.
I
I'm trying to like
know.
venture out.
Because there's so many different ones.
Yeah, there's so many other good books.
I think
Would
I do.
we do Vicious? And
I was
they
thinking
have-
I was
about
thinking
that
that
too.
too.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
But theirs kind of suck, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
they're evil.
You have to give up something.
Yeah, I don't want to be doing that.
And like die.
Yeah.
Like almost die.
correct to
Right.
get
Or
your
die.
power.
Yeah.
I
I just want to
see-
be magic.
When the moon hatched on the shelf is what I was looking at. And I like the idea of elemental powers.
Oh yeah,
That's
That
cool.
wasn't the question, but like, okay.
I
I'll let you
was
have
into
that.
that too.
Yeah.
But
How
she
is
said
that
that
the question?
she said that we've discussed.
We've
Right.
discussed
I
Fine,
have it,
the
though.
elemental powers of the Fae and throw a glass.
Right.
Same answer.
Maybe I would just take like the raw magic that Dorian has, because he can do whatever the heck he wants with it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
I
just
love a
like give me
loophole.
magic that I can do whatever I want with,
You could be a boy one day.
if I want to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I am a little evil and would like a Damati power as well.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
To be able to see what people are thinking, control their minds,
Right.
create a different reality.
Yeah.
I'd be a menace.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Always Booked. I'm Olivia.
I'm Emily.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Danny.
Today we're talking Code Name Verity, which was our book club pick.
I kind of strong armed everyone into this. So
Not really.
You didn't.
We
We voted. You submitted the books. You were
Yeah.
able to submit all the books, and this is the one that won.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Kind of mixed reviews in our book club.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
go around. What did we all think about it? Because we're a house divided.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
doesn't happen very often.
Love that. I love
Yeah.
when that happens.
I said this at book club. This is a story that I really, really like the story. I did not like the book.
I loved
And I
everything
think that's
about it.
great. Yeah.
I didn't like it. And I can
She hated it, really.
No, I
Yeah.
really did hate it. But all I can think about is this Trixie Mattel and Katya quote, which are drag queens, by the way. But they say, like, at the end of the day, the day's gotta end. And that's how I feel like reading this book.
Stop.
At the end of the day, the day's gotta end. It was just like a lot of the same, I felt like. Anyways.
Yeah. I liked it overall. Positive feeling after reading the book.
Yeah.
I can understand. Like, a lot of people were like, I struggled to read the book. And like, there are so many book club books we've done where I'm like, I struggled to read the book, but like hindsight, I actually really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping people feel that way about this one. But I
Yeah.
truly did love it.
I was disappointed because I love historical fiction.
I was so shocked that you didn't like it because of that.
Me as well.
Me too.
Yeah.
Especially
think
World War
it's-
II.
Is it
It's like-
because
Yeah.
it's like a friendship angle and it's not like necessarily about?
No, I think
No?
that's what I liked about it. I think
Okay.
it was the writing.
I agree.
Yeah.
The writing was really difficult to like hold my attention because she's a spy. So you're just getting like fragments of the information that she's also giving to you. And I don't know, that was like really confusing. It's a very disorienting read. And like I read it with my eyeballs the whole time and I kept on thinking it was probably easier to understand with my ears. Like it should have been an audiobook for me. But also, I don't care about planes. Like, I don't care about planes one little bit. And the whole thing was about planes. Spoiler alert.
The whole thing was about
That's
friendship,
totally
Danny.
not
It was
it.
about planes.
Actually, can we
literally-
let's give a synopsis?
Yeah,
of the
let me
book.
read. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll read the back of the book. It's like being in love, discovering your best friend. A British spy plane crashes into Nazi-occupied France. Its pilot and passengers are best friends, but just one of the girls has a chance at survival. Arrested by the Gestapo, Verity is given a choice. Reveal her mission or face a grisly execution. They'll get the truth out of her. Only it won't be what they expect. A visceral read of danger, resolve, and survival, Code Name Verity shows just how far true friends will go to save each other.
Yeah.
I think that's a great summary of the book.
I agree.
Yeah.
And if you pitched me this book, I'd be like, yes.
Did you vote for it?
I did vote for it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me too.
I just think it was the writing. I couldn't stay engaged with it.
Unfortunately, I do agree. And I don't know if it's I think it's probably, I assume it was the point, and it just kind of like, I didn't like dig in enough at the beginning because it is a lot of the same. Like, so she's captured Verity. Julie is her name. Her code name is Verity. Julie is captured and she's writing her like confessional journals. That's what's keeping her alive. Like she writes and she gets to live. But it's the same thing every day. It's like wake up, be tortured, write, go to sleep. Wake up, like over and over, and you don't have attachment to her at that point. So it's like, dang. But then in the same time, that's how you're learning about her and her best friend Maddie and their connection and all that.
I think my opinion is so different just because of my previous experience with the book. I picked the book up in 2021 and I like stopped a few chapters in because I was like, oh, I'm bored, I guess. And then picking it back up, I was like, I know people love this book and I know it's gonna be good. So like there's gotta be more to it. So when I pushed through to the point where she was like, where it was revealed that she is Queenie, I was like, and like that she was kind of like a spy, I was like, there's gotta be something else here. And like reading it with your eyes, you see that like she underlines different things, she circles different things. So I'm like,
you're like reading the spy communications.
So I'm like, no, there's definitely got to be like something else here. She's telling a story, but like she's also trying to say something.
And that's actually so cool of the author to do that.
Yeah,
to have the reader have that same experience.
And so I think that's why I like the writing so much, because I was like trying to decode and like play spy as well. And so that's my
that's really fun.
That.
And you love a challenge.
Yeah.
Famously.
And I do like how she connected it all. Like what you think at the beginning is completely different than the reality of the end of the book and their friendship and their whole journey. Just at the beginning, it was boring.
Yeah. Danny, did you read it on Kindle?
Yeah.
Okay, me too.
And there's none of the underlining.
No, there is some underlining, but I thought it was because like Kindle will show you people have highlighted.
Yeah.
I did see some of them, and I wondered what it was, but I thought it was just like malfunctioning.
That's so fair.
People were highlighting. But did your book tell you at the end of part 1 that the book was complete?
No.
That's so weird. No,
I
I'm like
almost
texting, be like, I finished the book.
Wait, like you got past the letters and then it was like, you're done?
You know, at the end of part 1, it was, she's like, I have told the truth. I have told the truth. I have told the truth.
Yeah.
It's like a whole page of that. I said book complete. And it, you know, when you finish a book on Kindle, it like gets you out of the book.
Yeah.
That's what happened. But then I was looking at like the page of contents,
like
I guess.
Book 1, book 2 in the book.
I guess so.
I had to have been, I guess.
I almost like just didn't read half the book.
That's
really
and
the better half at that.
I mean,
100% the better half.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. The second half is better. Because I mean, I got to the author's note. That's the end.
Yeah.
I learned about the ballpoint pens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. I was like, ugh.
So the first half is written in Julie's POV. And the second half is written in Maddie, her best friend's POV. Important to note.
This was also a like divided house for our book club. Like I am partial to the first part versus the second part. And I felt, and a few other people had said that, but you guys like the second part more.
Yeah, because that's when all the reveals are really.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I liked about it.
You just get more depth too. Even before. Yeah, like you get more, because part 1 you're just in like this cell with this person or this hotel where she's being kept, and you see the other stuff, but you're seeing it through her diary. So for me anyway, it's like reading it, I didn't feel like I was in the places she was talking about. I felt like I was in the room with her and she was telling me about these experiences. So for the whole first half, it's like, okay, I'm in this hotel as a prisoner. And then you get to go into France and see what it was like, World War II, Nazi occupied France, and what families were dealing with and the climate and all the other stuff. Like it felt more exciting to me.
Yeah.
I just thought the way she was writing the different relationships, and especially about like Von Linden, like I was like eating that up. I was, especially whenever they have that conversation when she reveals, when Von Linden reveals that she's Queenie, which is like her code name in the base or like her nickname. Whenever Von Linden's like, Engel, don't you know that she's Queenie? She's using like a literary technique, like from a different POV. I was like, oh, that's fun. And then you get to hear about, what does he do? Oh, when they talk about his daughter
Mhm.
and like they get into a fight and she's like yelling about that. And just
That
like
was a good part.
I just thought those dynamics were really interesting because I also went into it thinking this was like a more lighthearted story than it ended up being.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, like we're getting something here. Like
Yeah.
something's gonna happen. Like, I don't know. I just like went into it with more lighthearted expectations.
Yeah, not lighthearted at all.
Yeah, not in the slightest, actually.
It doesn't have a happy ending.
Yeah. And I feel like the most lighthearted is actually the beginning when she's recounting.
Right.
When Julie is writing, you have to like bring yourself back to, or the book brings you back to, oh, she is a prisoner being tortured by Nazis, because she writes in like such a
Yeah.
sarcastic, lighthearted way about her experiences. And she's writing about like how her and her best friend became best friends.
Yeah.
Like you
Mhm.
can tell it's important to her.
And
And then
I-
you're like, oh dang, she's being tortured.
And I think it's 6 weeks. Like her, right? It's her part is 6 weeks
I don't
of
remember.
her being in jail. And I like that. Like the beginning is lighthearted. She's talking about her friend. But like as time goes on, she's like struggling.
Yeah.
She's like crying. She's like, I have told the truth. She's singing her Scottish songs. Like
Mhm.
I know a lot of people hated that as well. But like I just think it was so well done because she probably, because they don't expect to live past like 4 weeks in like
Nazi prison.
Nazi occupied and like within the Gestapo. Like, so her using this as a lifeline and just like slowly being sure that she's not being saved, I
Mhm.
think was really well done.
It was a very fun book club. We made a vlog about it, so you should go watch it.
Yeah, it did. We had a good book club in
It
terms
was
of
a
like
lot of fun.
vibes and bringing in the World War II of it all. Something that we had a good conversation around in book club was propaganda, because
Mhm.
of course they speak to it in this book about like the propaganda posters and all that for the war. And we had some hanging up. We have some hanging up behind me if you're watching.
Mhm.
But we talked about like, if you're living in propaganda, while you're living it, do you think there's anything you can do about it to combat it, to stop it, however you define that?
I think the answer is yes. Don't ask me to qualify it though.
I was going to ask you to
I can-
qualify it.
Yeah,
I can qualify, I think.
go for it.
I think you battle propaganda with truth.
Mm-hmm.
And today is so different because truth has been weaponized
Mhm.
in like the term truth, if you will.
Mhm.
And so it's hard to determine what actual truth is, but that is how you battle propaganda. And I think it's like calling out, and it can be done, but it's just a matter of like
Yeah.
qualifying.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The tricky part is a lot of times you don't realize that something is propaganda until after the fact.
Right.
Mhm.
Or even if you do, even back then, I think we have like obviously more resources now to
Mhm.
communicate truth widespread and like find truth for ourselves. But even still, like there's propaganda nowadays that I could be like, this is proven not true, and people still won't listen.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I think it was the same then as well. So I think it's more like, I don't know, I guess you can do things to speak the truth, but
I don't think you can
I don't know that
eradicate
you can
it.
do anything, to stop propaganda.
There's a really good quote from this guy that was just like on Instagram. I don't know it, but the quote is, emergency is how tyrants manufacture faith.
Mhm.
And I think that's how propaganda is like used most of the time. Like, I think I mean, obviously war is dangerous and like, it is a somewhat of an emergency state, but even like all of the language is so extreme.
Right.
And a lot of like fatalistic language used around
Extremes.
extremist language used around propaganda that I think you should, as a adult, hopefully, you can like piece together like somewhere in the middle of like all of this like extreme language and also like extreme passivity potentially. There's going to be something
Mhm.
there that's actually going to make sense, like the
Mhm.
truth.
As it pertains to war, and I think very specifically, I can't speak to a British context. I can't speak to a Scottish,
Right.
European context, but I can speak to an American one. And I feel like war post Vietnam has that really like created such a sour taste in everyone's mouths.
Right.
Mhm.
Whereas like I think pre-Vietnam, going to war, joining the army was seen as noble. Like it was seen as like admirable,
Sure.
something that you should do. Versus when like images came back from Vietnam and saw that all the atrocities, people were like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Why are we there?
And like they
to-
were killing children.
Right.
Yeah. And to bring it, I guess, more recent times, similarly after 9/11, enlisting, very noble.
Right. But also different in that, like, they didn't, I always kind of view it as, it is noble and it was noble then, but it also felt like a coping mechanism because they didn't have a choice. They did have to enlist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's almost like,
Where they're drafted. Yeah.
Yeah.
but like, yeah, unless they're like physically unable, every man over a certain age had to go fight in this war. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it's not like, hey, you want to come?
Right.
And part of it is like, you're doing the noble, good, right thing, the thing that you kind of have to like fix for yourself
Yeah.
and your morality.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing to go do it either. I just think it's interesting.
That's an
Yeah.
aspect that I think this book was really interesting about. It focused on female friendship in wartime and
Yeah.
like female roles in war. And she talks about in her author's note. Also, if you're not reading author's notes,
Yeah,
totally
her
recommend
author's
them.
note was my favorite part of the book.
Yeah.
Oops. I really liked it.
Yeah.
It was good, but she talks about like all the research she did about like women in World War II, and like she has a like bit about the ballpoint pen, and just like it was fun.
Mhm.
And you know, wait, because I did say this book is all about pilots because it is. They both are like pilots,
no,
and they're in planes.
Maddie's the only pilot.
Well,
It's
they're
true.
in planes so much of the time. They're talking
She's
about.
literally not.
Oh, well, she's talking about her
trying
like
to-
flight maps. She's talking about walkie-talkie. She's talking about communicating with all these people. Like that's all plane related.
For the first
Finding
bit.
out the author is also a pilot.
Oh, so
I was
she
like,
knows all this stuff about
Right.
it.
And that totally makes sense. You're just speaking to what you know, which like gave me grace for the book, but I also like still don't care about planes.
I don't
care
care about
planes.
planes either. It wasn't
I
about
don't care about
planes.
It wasn't about planes.
It was too much about planes for me to be locked in like that. I read plane like something about plane. I was like, I don't care.
Oh my gosh.
Planes are what got Maddie to the war,
Mhm.
essentially. And so, yes, it's a vital part.
That's like saying Throne of Glass is about Endovier. Or
Right.
it's about, like, you know, like, stop.
Well,
It's about dragons.
Right.
Anyways. No, I just like thought her like this view of World War II was so interesting and it was realistic. Like,
Yeah.
do we want to get into like the meat of the story?
Yeah.
Towards the end. So one of the I did not expect this. Like I was actually shook to my core. They go try and save Julie as she's being taken from where they were holding her in the Gestapo and taken to like a death camp, essentially.
She's going to be experimented on because she's a woman.
For sure. And like, yeah. And so there comes a point when
Julie?
Maddie makes the decision to kill Julie while being transported. And like, we had a conversation at book club. Like, do you think that you could do that?
Yeah. Well, I think it's important to also talk about that Julie was begging her too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That
I mean,
was
I think I
hard.
could.
I think I could as well.
In the same circumstance, yeah.
That was hard because I was like, I think they could have saved her.
It is, but I agree. I felt the same. I was like, there's
Mhm.
literally nothing else you could do. They're right there. Like,
Yeah.
but I feel like that is part of the reality of it. Like, she probably felt the same, and so many have. Like, I'm right here. Why can't I get to her? But there's a line of Nazis that are going to shoot you if you come out of the forest. Like, there's truly nothing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
The only mercy for your friend is, to kill her.
And like I said, I came into this book thinking it was like happy endings for everyone. So like that was like,
reading too much SJM.
yeah, right.
And what's more painful about it too is, so they're flying, Maddie and Julie are flying together and they're going to crash. So Maddie's like, Julie, you have to get out. Like, you have to escape the plane because I don't think we're going to make it. So Julie, jumps out of the plane and they're separated. Maddie crash lands. She lives. She's okay. But because Julie got out of the plane when Maddie told her to, is kind of the whole reason why she's captured. She gets out and she looks the wrong way on the street, and the Nazis are like, you're not from here. You're not normal. You're a spy.
Which is crazy.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Right.
Which is really a testament to like the culture of that time. Because I brought this up when we were talking about it, but I have a friend in Prague and he was like, if you come here, you have to understand that like it's kind of a quiet culture when you're like doing any kind of transportation and whatnot. Like people are quiet on the subways here because it's a leftover World War II, people snitching on their neighbors. You never know who's standing around. You never know who's listening. And so like, just like the fact that they knew to key in on those kinds of details was so crazy to me.
Yeah. The tiny
And I think that
details.
was a big part of just like World War II.
Yeah.
Transporting downed pilots to people having to emergency exit their planes all the time. And then those. Has anyone else read The Nightingale here? Just me?
No.
That's a big part of it as well. Like finding those downed pilots and then trying to transport them back home before they get seen by someone else and captured.
Wow.
I think I would like that book.
Yeah, it's
Me
really
as well.
good.
Yeah.
It's to Kristen
Hannah.
Yeah.
The woman.
Everyone has great things about
Yeah.
that book. So I'm
Good.
convinced.
I
Also
did
in
like,
France.
Of course. I did I liked Maddie's POV and her living because she doesn't want to get found either. She's Jewish.
Right.
Yeah, that was a crazy,
crazy
drop.
drop,
I
for
like
sure.
that.
Yeah, and living in France with this family, like, and she has a fake whatever. She has an alias that she's their cousin or whoever from France, and all this. Like, seeing that was crazy too because she's trying to get out. She's trying to stay alive. Meanwhile, she's learning about all this, and the family having to like host the Nazis for dinner. Like, I think that was good writing and a good payoff for the readers because you see von Linden, the Nazi general that is like torturing her the whole time, just as like this bad figure of he is this person. And then you see him freaking at dinner talking about his kids and stuff. Like it is crazy the different like angles that you get to see the characters from.
Do you think that, now that I'm thinking about it, do you think that Julie left Maddie her alias papers on purpose because she knew they were going down? That would have been crazy because she like set up the whole book for her to be successful.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because that could have been like that's what I really liked about this is because like the whole beginning, Julie's POV is so unreliable.
And you think she's just like a narc.
Yeah.
Like she's been tortured and she's given up all the information.
Right. And that's just not the case at all because
You don't, but.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like one of the payoffs at the end is that like they planted 11 radios into the plane after they were like, okay, she crashed, she lived, moving on. And then the Gestapo get pictures. And when you read Julie's POV, she's like giving up code. And she's like, I gave up another set of codes today. I'm the worst. And then you learn later that it was all planted and that she would know that.
Yeah.
So everything I just read is kind of a lie.
She's so smart. Yeah, she's being a spy. She's playing the game the whole time.
And it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that part.
I think it's so fun.
I quite like the interview part too, when there's a journalist that comes in to interview Julie in prison. She's like favored among the Nazis or whatever. And the Nazis are like, okay, well, she can come interview her so everyone knows that we treat our prisoners well, essentially. Like that's the whole angle. So you're like, dang, this woman sucks. And then later on in part 2 of the book, you realize she is also a spy, double agent. And she and Julie are having a secret conversation the entire time that no one else is aware of, and like learning information and all that. Like that was brilliant. That was beautiful.
Right. And the bit where they're like, during an air raid, everyone goes to the basements for 2 hours when an alarm goes off. And towards the end, whenever Maddie is going through these papers and she's like, oh my God, she left a roadmap for us. She left an entire layout of the building. She wants us to continue what she was doing. Like, I don't know. If I was reading my friend's journals, I'd be like, dang, this sucks.
Right.
And then moving on. I don't think I would like catch that. So just the fact that they had the wherewithal to do that.
But she knew she was a spy. So
Yeah.
like trained to do.
But it
clues
also
like that
spoke
and
to
stuff
their
too.
relationship, I think, too. That she knew her well enough to know, like, I'm going to do this, and I know that I should pay attention because this is who she is as a person.
Right.
Yeah.
I loved their friendship when she was talking about her because I'm like, truly, like, you can tell Julie loves her and like enough to tell the story. Did you ask the question? Was it you that asked about the like imbalance in friendship?
It was on my question card.
Yeah, it was her, but my aunt Yeah, ask and I'll tell you what my answer was.
Was Julie and Maddie's friendship truly equal, or was one giving more than the other?
Yeah, and what I said was I didn't think it was a fair question because I think friendships ebb and flow all the time. And you'll always have someone's giving more than the other at any given time. But then Olivia made the point that in reading that question, I automatically, and her too.
Everybody at the table
Yeah,
took it as a negative.
Yeah, negative. Like you're almost defensive about it. Because I think none of us want to be the friend that's not giving the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting.
But that's relationship. Yeah.
Mhm.
Back and forth, ebb and flow.
I think that was also like with the nature of what Julie was doing. She was a spy. She was literally under secret ops. Like she couldn't share a lot of her life.
Mm-hmm.
But
which I think that's why the question comes up is like,
yeah,
how deep can a friendship be if you're not willing or able to give certain parts?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think
their friendship was real, but
me as well. With how deep Julie writes their friendship, I think that it had to have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think you've posed that question before. I don't remember what book.
Mm-hmm. I remember as well.
It was more of a romantic relationship. And you said if you have secrets, do you really love that person?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's kind of the same vein.
I agree.
And I think you can. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
That's tough for me. That's really hard.
I know. So it's different for you in friendship versus.
I don't think it's friendship versus romance. I think it's what those secrets pertain to. Hey, these are state secrets. These are technically not her secrets.
Sure.
But I think that's different. This is like quite literally a matter of life and death for the world.
Yeah, but that is such a big thing. It's not the secrets of like, oh, hey, this is what the government's doing. It's like the secrets that she's carrying that's weighing on her soul and humanity because of it, that she's also not willing to share, that I feel like is not different than whatever you don't want to share in a romantic relationship.
Like the fact that she's torturing people?
Yeah, or whatever it is. Like, I have these feelings because of my job, and I understand she couldn't share them. But that doesn't feel like, oh, this is not my secret to share. Yeah, it 100% is your secret to share.
Yeah. Feelings about job, yes. Job, no.
Right. But it's one and the same in hers.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
I love this question right here. We didn't get to talk about it in book club. If you could ask Julie one question after reading her confession, what would it be? A good one. I think mine would be like, at what point did you decide
There's no getting out?
There's no getting out, but also to like write this way, leave the notes in this, like at what happened externally that we didn't see on page. This is my lifeline to get this information out. At what point did she decide
or was it like when she could tell that Von Linden had more interest in what she was writing, like she knew like, maybe this is my leverage, maybe this is my piece. Yeah.
Or was it just like, this is my training,
premeditated, this is what I have to do. Yeah.
So I'd like to know that, I think.
Yeah.
And why Maddie, like obviously her best friend, and I love that, but like she could have just angled it with the information, you know?
Probably for closure and stuff for Maddie as much as possible.
And it's so sad because again, I really did want to love this book, but I did not care about anyone. Like I couldn't form any kind of attachments to anyone.
So wild.
Like, I don't know.
I get it.
It was really weird.
I think because it is confusing at the beginning.
Yeah.
Purposefully, I think, disorienting at the beginning. It makes it hard.
Like,
and also, to be honest, for me, I was like, oh, this girl is going to die. Like, unless this is, like, Nazis kill you.
Yeah.
Like,
at the end of the day's gonna end.
She's not getting out.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, subconsciously, too, I was like, not getting attached to this one.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the ending was truly like the gut punch.
Yeah.
Obviously, like she shoots her best friend.
Which you don't know in the moment. You think like that they allude to the fact like the Nazis shot and killed her.
Yeah. That sucks.
For like getting out of line.
And then she has to tell her brother. And that hurt my feelings so bad.
I think his response hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Because he was so understanding.
Right. Ugh. I'll cry again. I've been crying all morning.
I think it is a good book club book.
I agree.
because we had good discussion around it,
Mhm.
which is also like that's always my fave.
Yeah.
And books that like some people are gonna hate this, some people are gonna love it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those make for the best discussions.
Agree.
And we're all friends in book club. Like we all love each other. So
Yeah.
reading about like a powerful friendship was sweet.
Yeah.
It
it
was
was-
sweet. Learning that Von Linden, the man responsible for her torment,
Mm-hmm.
killed himself.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Like they all did.
There's a book that I had to read in college about World War II, and I wish I could remember the name of it because it was so crazy.
Was
And
it,
it was
The Diary of Anne Frank?
Stop.
Perchance.
It was not. It was all about though. It was like Nazi Germany, and it followed these young men in before World War II and into World War II, and it's all about how like you didn't just like wake up a Nazi one day.
Mhm.
It's all about like the evolution of how can you like turn on these people that
Mhm.
were your neighbors,
Mhm.
and that's kind of what I was thinking about when it came to Von Linden, because he let himself get too attached. Because there's a certain level of detachment of
Mhm.
like emotion to your neighbor at that point that you get to like turn them in because they're Jewish.
Oh, right. He had too much humanity left.
Exactly. And so him like taking a liking, because that's essentially what happened. He took a liking to Julie.
Yeah.
He liked reading her stuff, like
And
whatever
she's
game they were
funny.
playing. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
likable.
She's very
Her
likable.
personality is fun.
Yeah.
Scottish. Love that she was Scottish.
Right.
Right.
When she's yelling
Reminding
about
everyone.
Yeah, yelling about his daughter.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah.
What would your daughter think of you?
I like that scene.
I love
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
She
And so,
was
like,
brave.
Mhm.
Just like I think he let himself get too, he forgot about that detachment, and that was the door. And, you know,
Yeah, and then he couldn't
yeah.
live with
With
himself
himself,
anymore.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I just think about like that book sounds really interesting. If you ever
I'm gonna
remember the
try
name,
and find
yeah,
it.
send it because I want to
Mhm.
read it. Because obviously, history repeats itself, all that sort of stuff. But I think of stuff now, like I've seen things on social media, and it's like the White House or whoever posting about like literal people in chains being deported, or like laughing about them being in alligator Alcatraz, or like any of these things, and
Mhm.
people in the comments are horrific,
Yeah.
like supporting it and being like, oh yeah, good for them, I hope the alligators are hungry, or like all of these different things. And it's like, my God, how do you not have a sliver of humanity? And I think that's why people compare what's happening now so often to like the Nazis and stuff, even though a lot of people are like, this is not the same. I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
But I think
Mhm.
people compare it to that because isn't that how it started there too? It's not like people woke
Right.
up and they were like, I hate Jews today. Yeah, it's okay if we kill them.
Mm.
No, like it's over and over, little bit by little bit, propaganda and other things desensitizing you to humanity and empathy and emotion to
Yeah.
get to the point where you're doing things like that.
Well, I'm just thinking like America has such a history of deportation, and like, what did people do then? I'm thinking the Trail of Tears.
What do you
did
mean? What
people-
did people do then? Oh, like how did they react?
Yeah, because I'm thinking like right here, right now, the propaganda is that like America first, America first, America first, and so we need to get these illegal immigrants out. That's
Well,
a mass deportation.
Yes, but I wonder, did then, because I don't know, and
Yeah.
maybe you do, did they dehumanize the people that they were deporting at the same level that they are now?
I'm curious.
Me too.
That's what I would want to know. Like,
I
are we
think
just
not on the same scale because of the internet.
Media.
right?
And people,
but like, what do
I'm
you
not
do?
defending these people in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
People are different behind a keyboard.
for sure.
for sure.
But they
And
are
you can
their
make the
truest
comment.
self,
That's what I
in
was
my
gonna say. You can
opinion.
make that argument, and that's valid.
But it still happened, you know, on a
100%.
mass
Right.
scale. So like, it can't just be
And it has, yeah, like every president has deported people, like
yeah.
in droves. But in my lived experience of government so far, which is not that far back, but it's like never in my lived experience has my government, my White House, my president been posting content to
Yeah.
social media saying dehumanizing people. That
No,
I have
that's
never
crazy.
blatant and
Yeah.
disgusting.
lived that.
Well,
personally.
we did round up Japanese people after Pearl Harbor.
Right. I just
Right.
wasn't
Right.
alive then. I wasn't
No,
alive
no, I
then.
know. But
Yeah.
just like we
But
have
that's
history
what I'm
of it then,
saying.
too.
There
That's a
is
part of the-
a history
yeah.
in
Mhm.
America of this. So, like, what did
That's
people
true.
do then? And, like, what can we do
To stop
differently
it?
now? Yeah, your propaganda question.
Yes.
Mm.
And so, like, we have a history of doing this over and over and over again. How do you stop it? Was there a, like, pushback? What
What ended it?
ended it? But also, like, how far past it do we have to be for people to turn around and be like,
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing is wrong?
Oh, that was bad. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like Trail of Tears. During that time, everyone was probably like, "Yeah, American first. We're strong. These people aren't abiding by American values. They put
Mhm.
first." Okay,
What's
But, like-
interesting now is that I think they use the angle of these people are breaking the law
Correct.
Right.
They're criminals.
versus citizens that we are.
And they're all
Yeah.
criminals, and they're all
Mhm.
MS-13 or whatever, and they're
right.
all
doing
like
stuff. Right.
they're
Yeah.
all involved in the gangs. They're all
Mhm.
involved in whatever.
Right.
It's
But it
very
has happened over history.
emergency
Right.
is
Mhm.
how tyrants manufacture faith.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Faith in the government, faith in propaganda,
Yeah.
faith in whatever.
It's hard to, because like as you get into layers, and again, we have this conversation all the time. I think this is why reading is so important, whether it's historical fiction, real, whatever, nonfiction,
Mhm.
fantasy, like all of it's so important because it helps develop empathy in different perspectives
Yeah,
by living all of these real or fake experiences. But like, I always come back to Fourth Wing because it comes to that quote of like, it only takes one generation to change history and then the next to rewrite it. And then by the third generation, you
Mhm.
have no idea what reality is.
Yeah.
And I think of that when you ask questions like that of like, how was it? And I'm like, I don't know that we'll ever know
Mhm.
unless you're able to speak to someone or lots of someone's that lived it. Nobody knows the reality. I'm
Mhm.
also reading the Red Rising series, and in Golden Sun, the second book, there's a quote that says something like, history is written by the victors.
Yeah.
And it is implying all of the nasty, dehumanizing, horrible things that happened to get someone to a place of victory. They're not going to write about that.
Yeah.
They're not going to write about the things that make them look like a bad person. History is written by the victors, so you don't
Yeah.
know what reality is.
and I feel like we've done so much, like as a culture. There's been so much effort to go back and like re-examine history, you know, because I think pretty widely, we understand history is written by the victors.
right.
But like, I just feel like so much effort has gone back to be like, hey, that's not actually how this happened. Hey, actually, a woman wrote The Great Gatsby.
Right.
You know, just like things like that. But it makes me wonder, kids who are born in 2025, when they're growing up, what version are they being told? What version have we been told that has been rewritten over and over
Yeah,
again?
what are they going to learn in school about this time?
Yeah. Not even about this time, but like about times past, you
mhm.
know, just like what version are they going to get?
Depends the state they're in.
Exactly.
Well,
And
depends the state, the publisher of the history book they're reading, your own government teacher.
Right.
Like,
You're getting so many different
Yeah.
cooks in the kitchen, so to
Yeah.
speak.
that's why books are so
So-
important.
right. Doing your own learning.
Well, even books are written with a certain angle.
Right.
For sure.
Everything's
But-
political.
Yeah.
Everything's
Right.
political.
So everything
Can I
is
go-
mixed up.
Learning, doing your own discovery and
Yeah.
deconstruction of everything is so important.
I have a rabbit hole that I got into via TikTok, but it's so good. And you know, I'm all about art history. And I have told you guys before, like I love art because I feel like art is actually told by the participants of history rather than the
Mhm.
victors. And in the 60s, when communism was on the rise, it was like sexual revolution, all of that was happening. America was the
I saw this.
Yeah, I reposted it because it's so good. America was, and I knew about this as well, but I didn't know the second half. Anyways, so they were all the art coming out of the States was like Mark Rothko, it was Jackson Pollock, it was all of these abstract expressionist artists that were really interesting, very fun, very vibrant colors. It was all very, I don't know, like emotionally driven, whereas communist art was very industrially driven. So countries like Russia and China were producing art that was like literally like men at work, or it was like women like pushing children, like very just like literal, while America was making all these beautiful expressive paintings, right? And so what it turns out is all of these men who obviously went on to be like millionaires and their estates are still worth millions and Rothkos are still worth like millions and whatever, all of them were actually funded by the US government to produce pieces of art. They were commissioned by the government. Their art was funded by the government. And what was not told was all of the women at the same time had been producing all of these abstract impressionist art for decades, and they weren't funded. There was only one woman in this team of artists that had the funding, but Jackson Pollock's wife, Lee Krasner, she was also an abstract expressionist artist. She had been painting forever, and Jackson eventually dies in like a really bad car crash. And she is quoted by saying, like, I painted before Pollock, I painted during Pollock, and I'll paint after Pollock. And all of her art like stayed so consistent. I always get chills when I say that quote. It's so good. And I just think it speaks to, number one, like women constantly also being silenced in history, which is actually why I like that angle of this book, is that women were always a part of all of the most important parts of history, just not in the same ways. They weren't funded in the same ways that men were. And I think like even it being reflected in the arts, I guess across all kinds, but specifically in like this era, I think is really interesting. And yeah, that video is awesome.
The
and
Kimball
art rock.
The Kimball.
Yeah.
You've reposted that. I watched every second of it, and I did go on my own little deep dive. But the Kimball recently did a really cool installation, and it's like German art from 1935 to 1949. So like the rise of Nazi Germany into World War II. I'm telling you, I wanted to see that so bad.
Oh yeah, that sounds so interesting.
That would be fascinating. So I think it's a touring exhibit. So
cool.
if that exhibit pops up in your city, let me know. I'm trying to be there.
Please let us know in the comments. We gotta go see that.
I could not make it. But talking about the women who were suppressed, there is this painting at Crystal Bridges in Bentonville, Arkansas. It's a Joan Mitchell. And my first time ever there, I was like, I am like captivated. Like this, whoever Joan Mitchell is, this is my woman. I like what I'm seeing here. And then I was listening to that and I said, yeah, women in the arts.
Women in the
Support them.
arts. Women in the arts.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's so cool. I mean, yeah, even like World War II, I went to Yad Vashem, which is like the main Holocaust museum in Israel, in Jerusalem. And that was like really, really crazy. I don't think about it very often because it was really awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember there were pieces of art that were done like by some of the Jewish artists that were also like before obviously the war, that they highlighted within some of the exhibits. And then there was also like, I remember seeing some like German sketches and like art that they were collecting from like soldiers and things like that from the time. But yeah, it's really,
in my opinion, another reason why this is a perfect book club
Absolutely,
book, because we've had all of these other discussions.
There's so many other topics. I'm like, okay,
there's so many
I gotta stay on topic.
things you can discuss, especially at book club. If your book club gets deep or not, whatever your vibe is, like there are so many things you can talk about.
Right.
And this is the starting point of those conversations. So
the book ends with a letter from Julie's mom to Maddie, and it is
sad.
It's
heartbreaking.
so sad.
And it's just her saying, I'd love to meet you. Please come home. I'll leave a window open. I'll cry.
Yeah, like she's
That was
I'll
mad
leave the
at
window
her.
open for you.
that was a beautiful way to end it.
That was gorgeous.
Once again, women.
Right.
But like the
Mothers,
reality of losing your kids was so pertinent at the time, because
Right.
they call World War I like the lost generation. And then again, to go through this 20 years later, just is a reality that we today don't understand.
Right.
Like I have no concept of this.
Right.
I think when your kid left, you weren't necessarily expecting to ever see them.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Would recommend for a book club.
For
Yeah.
sure. Absolutely.
Or even a solo read,
Yeah.
Depending on your vibe.
Maybe try audiobook. You don't like planes.
I like the audiobook, but I wish I would have read it with my eyeballs for the context clues of
Yeah, I think that would have
espionage.
kept me more engaged, actually.
Yeah.
Because I would have been like, a clue. I love a puzzle.
Yeah.
So
What's our small business shout out for today?
our small business shout out is called Monet's Corner. They are actually going to be at our Court of Villains ball
Yay.
on October 17th. Very excited. Would love to have you. Tickets are on our website. But Monet's Corner is one of our vendors.
At the Morning Mixer.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yep, we have a lot of great vendors coming and authors as well. But she sells minimalistic bookish merch, which is honestly our favorite type of bookish
Love.
merch.
Yeah, so cute.
So she has an Etsy shop. We'll link it.
Yeah. Bernie's
Um,
Corner Shop.
Check it out.
Cute
cute stuff.
totes,
Yeah,
cute
that's awesome.
cups,
Yeah.
sweatshirts, all the vibes.
The owner's very sweet.
I'm excited to see
Yeah,
it all in
can't wait to meet her.
person.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
Okay.
love ya.
Get
Get
booked.
booked.
Later.
Get booked.